Joining me right now is the Trump Organization Executive Vice President, Development and Acquisitions, Donald Trump Jr. Don, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure, Maria. Good to be with you.
So I know that you are gearing up for the convention coming up. What do you say about what's going on in Jacksonville? Jacksonville's telling officials, telling people they have to wear masks, even questioning whether or not the convention should go on in Jacksonville. What's your take with now, what are we, 126 days away from the 2020 election, Don?
Correct, and we're still 2 months out from the convention, so we have a little bit of time to get everything in order. I think we're going to make sure that everything is done in a safe and appropriate manner. I don't think that it's too complicated to wear a mask or wash your hands and follow basic hygiene protocols. And I think we're just going to do whatever we can to make sure that the people that are there in attendance, as well as the people from the RNC and the campaign, are safe, enjoyable, and have an awesome time.
All right. Now, we've got a situation in this country that is quite extraordinary. While we see major efforts to cure and come up with a vaccine for the coronavirus, we are ripping our cities apart. You've got the statues coming down and infrastructure being damaged. And yet, with your father being the law and order president, I'm questioning why he is trailing in the polls. Let's take a look at these polls. Got to get your take. President Trump trailing Vice President Joe Biden in several swing states, including 9 points in Florida, according to the latest Fox News poll. Don, I know that we did not believe the polls last time around. Are you buying it this time around? And what can the president do to turn these numbers around?
Well, I'm not entirely buying it. I think there's probably a component of it that's accurate, because if you look at the coverage of these things, they're trying to blame all of this for President Trump. I was really glad to see this week a lot of arrests starting to be made for those people who are defacing our monuments. Can you imagine what would happen if a group of conservatives took over 6 blocks of a inner city somewhere with guns? It wouldn't be treated the same way. So sort of that double standard within the media, the way things are covered, trying to throw blame on everything Trump, whether it was these things, whether it was obviously the coronavirus response, where Trump was 2 months ahead of the Democrats in terms of action, in terms of being able to flatten the curve by shutting down travel from China, and yet magically through their amazing revisionist history, they're able to change facts to actually make it seem like the Democrats were doing anything. That said, I also do think there's a large element, like 16 and perhaps greater, where candidly, because of that response, because of the media reaction, because of some of the craziness that has gone on, between the looting and the rioting and the attacks, people aren't going to be as apt to say, hey, I'm voting for Trump, because they're not sure where someone else is coming from. And frankly, I don't blame them, but that's a sad state of affairs for America, and it's something we better work out pretty soon. The fact is, these days, you're not allowed to just be apolitical. You have to be woke. If you're not woke enough, if you just want to stay apolitical, you get canceled anyway. And we've seen that cancel culture become very pervasive throughout society these days, too.
Well, it's pretty unbelievable because, right now the FBI has, I believe, 2,000 open investigations into espionage situations in the United States where China has sent over researchers to steal our data. 2,000, but they should have many more.